Look forward to it, Kieran.
Let's go live now to the Shadow Minister for Energy, Ted O'Brien, and change focus now. Ted O'Brien, thanks for your time. Big news on the energy front. I know we've been focusing a lot on the Middle East, understandably, huge news there, but I want to talk about energy because Origin, one of the major energy companies, has shelved its plan when it comes to hydrogen and important hydrogen projects. Can I ask you, as part of your vision, and you say all energy solutions are on the table for you, is hydrogen still part of the mix as far as you see it?
Great to be with you again, Kieran, and indeed the Coalition has an all-of-the-above approach. In other words, we believe you need a balanced energy mix. You shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket, which is our biggest criticism of the Labor government with its renewables-only policy. And so when it comes to hydrogen, I believe hydrogen will be part of our future, but we should not be just backing one type of hydrogen. We've got to be colourblind when it comes to hydrogen. It's not just about green hydrogen, which can come from the likes of wind and solar as its energy source. But what about blue hydrogen, which can be made from gas with carbon capture and storage to ensure that it's low emissions? What about pink hydrogen, which can be used, produced with nuclear energy? The problem we have with Labor's approach, it's put all its eggs in only green hydrogen. You saw Fortescue then walk back from its ambitions, and now Origin. Again, you don't put all your eggs in one basket, Kieran.
Do you welcome the fact that Frank Calabria, the CEO of Origin, has said they're going to be doubling down on their efforts when it comes to storage and renewables investment?
There's no doubt that as a part of a balanced mix, you are going to need more renewables and indeed more storage. One of the problems we have today, especially with rooftop solar, but also with utility scale renewable projects, is a lack of storage. That is a problem, and I have no problem whatsoever with the Origin leader coming out and making it clear that's part of their intention moving forward. What we need, again, Kieran, is a balanced energy mix. We need to be pouring more gas into the market, and we shouldn't...
Yeah, everything
go ahead.
On the table. And your critics say that you're... And I think this is a misstep from critics of your approach. They say it is anti-renewable, but actually to provide the power necessary in the next short to medium term, if you win the election, until those nuclear plants are up and running, you will need every bit of energy you can get your hands on, including all the renewable and gas that is currently scheduled and more.
Kieran, decarbonising an economy while keeping prices low and the lights on is tough stuff. And the last thing we should be doing is taking any option off the table. That includes nuclear, it includes gas, and yes, it absolutely includes renewables. And you're right too, our critics are trying to set up this false debate as if, one side of politics is pro-renewables and the other not. In fact, the Coalition is the only party that actually wants renewables to succeed, because the only way they do succeed is with complementary technologies. That includes gas, and over the long term, that includes zero-emissions nuclear energy.
So just explain to our viewers how that works, because currently, gas you can turn off and on quickly, nuclear you can't. In your mind, do you see, is the technology shifting in that direction where nuclear can play a role as a peaking capacity? And would you see it in your mind as providing, say, a peaking capacity as does gas alongside renewables?
Kieran, it's a really insightful question. I see gas continuing to play the role that you outlined and it's playing now. Its ability to be dispatched at speed is second to none, and renewables will not succeed in this nation without its support. Then the question becomes, what about nuclear? Well, nuclear can play two roles in Australia's electricity grid. Primarily the role of baseload power, always on 24/7 power. a role currently played by coal plants. As coal retires from the system, then we see nuclear coming on. So we can continue to have that 24/7, always-on baseload power. The second role played by nuclear energy is it has the ability to ramp up and ramp down to load follow renewables. So it can work in conjunction with gas and renewables as part of that balanced energy mix. Because every technology brings its strengths to the party. We need to leverage those strengths as part of a balanced mix, and that's the premise of our entire policy.
And we're almost out of time, but we will get the number soon, the costing, because at the moment there are estimates of over $100 billion and whatever else out there. You want to, fill that vacuum soon enough with your own detail, surely, and we're expecting it by the end of the year, yep?
Indeed, Kieran, our economics will be out on energy before the end of the year, but I tell you what, Labor's won't be. They've had over 2 years. They still will not come clean how much it's costing the Australian people.
Ted O'Brien, I look forward to speaking to you then, maybe before it, but anyway, I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks, Kieran.